Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call this City of Benton Harbor Commission meeting to order. We begin with a invocation by Commissioner Edward Isom, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by City Manager Alex Little. All rise. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Present.
Commissioner Henderson,
Present.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Present.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Present.
Commissioner Warren,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats, Mayor Mohammed.
Present.
Motion, you have a quorum.
This brings us to approval of minutes, regular minutes, August 4, 2025. Is there a motion for the approval? Motion is made by Commissioner Henderson and
Support.
supported by Commissioner at Large Isom. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to approval of accounts payable listing. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. Is there support?
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner Singleton. Is there discussion? Carry none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the next item on the agenda, which is a public hearing, Abbott Marsh Redevelopment Project Brownfield Plan. Are the representatives of the of Abbott Marsh present? So at this time, I'd like to open the public hearing. And please recognize yourselves by name, title, with the organization you represent. You are recognized.
Good evening. My name is Darrell Knipp. I'm the president and CEO of Abbott Marsh. Thank you for having us here this evening. Abbott Marsh has been headquartered in Benton Harbor for over 46 years. We've enjoyed being part of the community and honored to serve the city through the work that we do. Our 16,000 square foot building is old and worn down. The exterior is dated and needs upgrades. The interior is approximately half occupied. We'd like to invest in the building and in the community to help attract new employees, provide a better work environment, and continue the improvements along Main Street. We have approximately 50 full-time employees in Benton Harbor office, plus another 10 to 12 seasonal and visitors from other offices. What we're proposing is to finish out the first floor for offices for our staff and create 8 apartments upstairs on the second floor. We're also working with the state to pursue state funds through MISTA and RAP grant to help support the housing on this project.
Good evening. I'm Teresa Searles, Senior Brownfield Specialist with Fishbeck. Just here to give you a few fast facts regarding the Brownfield Plan. So the Brownfield Plan is a tool that the city is very familiar with. I think you have 38 different plans currently in place. So this is a mixed-use development, as Mr. Knipp was saying. Abbott Marsh has been in the community for nearly 50 years, I believe. So they're choosing to stay where they are, modernize their space, so that first floor will continue to be their offices, and then the second floor will help to meet the housing need. The nice thing about the brownfield plan is that the city does not have to directly pay for these incentives to the developer. The developer is putting their own private investment in. Through the investment, the redevelopment will increase the taxable value, and it's through that tax increment that they get reimbursed. One thing I want to clarify is there are currently almost $1.8 million worth of eligible costs that are put in the plan. We are only anticipating that approximately $1 million will be reimbursed. That is because reimbursement is only made on actual costs, on actual increment that is realized. So if the property's worth more and they're paying higher taxes, they may get more, but we're thinking about $1 million will be reimbursed. As Mr. Knipp also mentioned, there are state sources as well. They're looking into 2 different state sources. So in addition to the city's partnership, there will be state funding as well, and we're here to answer any questions.
Thank you for that presentation. I'd like to open the floor up for questions from the city council. Chair recognizes 4th Ward Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Okay. You say you have 50 employees, right? Did I hear that right? Okay. How many are from Ben Harbor? How many stay in Ben Harbor of your employees?
How many are residents of Benton Harbor?
Yes.
Just a couple,
A couple meaning 2? Because that's what a couple is.
yeah.
Okay, 2 out of 50. Okay. So, how many buildings do you own total, and how many do you have in Ben Harbor?
This is the only building that we own. It's in Benton Harbor.
The only building, because I was under the impression it was one down in the 4th Ward, then you have the building over there by Family Dollar. Are those not your buildings?
No, they are not.
But you guys are in there.
No.
Which building where are you guys located?
We're at 95 West Main Street.
So you are in one in the 4th Ward. Okay.
I want to recognize Commissioner at Large Singleton.
Sure. How many apartments are we looking at?
8.
One bedroom, 2 bedrooms, or what?
We're proposing 6 one-bedroom and 2 two-bedroom, 2-bath apartments.
Okay, thanks.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Kennard.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to ask, what are you asking for from Brownfield? Exactly. I mean, in dollars.
So they're asking for the Brownfield plan to be adopted, which has already been recommended for approval by the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. The plan in place will allow up to this 1.79, whatever the exact number is, if those true costs are realized. If not, only whatever is realized. We're anticipating a little over 1 million in TIF. I also forgot to mention that all of the units will qualify as affordable rates under the Brownfield program, which is the 80 to 120% AMI. They currently have the one-bedroom rents set at $1,100, which is really around the 70% AMI for the city of Benton Harbor, and the two-bedroom will be 80% AMI at $1,600.
Okay, another thing. A lot of times when we is in Brownfield, it says that then we only got X amount of dollars there. Where's those dollars coming from for that program, that project?
I believe what you're referring to is if there are a pot of money, for example, the Brownfield Authority does have a funding source, its local Brownfield revolving fund, and the board has recently contributed those funds directly to support projects. In this case, that is not necessary. There are no direct funds coming from the city because the Brownfield plan will be put in place, so all those costs are paid up front by the developer, and it's only reimbursed through the taxes that the developer and the owner pays.
I would ask that we power down our electronic devices to prevent disruption during the meeting. I'd like to recognize Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you. I just have just a couple comments. So with this, it'll bring 8 new apartments, and the value of the building will increase to what? As a result of the completion of the project, what will the value of the building increase to?
It's anticipated that the first year after development, it will increase to $777,803. The current taxable value is $111,450, and that anticipated future taxable value was arrived by communication with the local assessor and her determination.
Thank you. And so that's just another increase for the city as well with the taxes, with residents living in the city of Benton Harbor. That'll help to also increase our tax base, more water customers, which we're always excited about in the city because we do need that. And I think my last question, is it escaping me? I have one more question. With the employees, with the apartments, are you anticipating some of your employees to live in in those units, or are you opening them up for general public rents, starting, you said, at $1,100 rent? So is it for your employees or for just a general public?
It is not intended for employees. It is open for rent. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
The chair recognizes Commissioner Warren.
So kind of piggybacking off what Commissioner Henderson said, I think is really great for the city to increase our tax base and water customers. My one question is for Teresa. You mentioned was it 20% AMI?
The program is allowable for up to 120% AMI.
Okay. This is not something that I expect you to answer now, but is it a way to take away and have one be more affordable? Like out of the 8 apartments, is that something that you could take away to see if that's a possibility for us? So out of the 8, could one, because I understand what we're saying, 1 bedroom is $1,100, but that's still quite expensive. So it could be a little bit more diverse.
I'll let Mr. Knapp answer that, but I just want to say that I mentioned the up to 120 because that's what the program allows, but currently the 1-bedrooms are set at 70% and the 2-bedrooms set at 80%. So all of the units are within the affordable rates.
Yeah, we're still working on what the exact rates are, but our intention is to make these affordable and to target 70 to 80%.
Any other questions before we close out the hearing for the panel? Commissioner Kennard is recognized.
I know that your engineering company has been with us, you said, over 40 years. Will it be in question that it's a conflict of interest for them to come to the brownfield for housing? If not, explain to me why not.
I'm not quite sure I understand the question or where the potential conflict would come. You mean, is there a conflict for Avonmarsh should come to the Brownfield Authority for support?
Yes.
No, they're an area business. They're developing and investing in the community. So these are exactly the types of people that I imagine the board would be interested to be investing in the community, your longstanding businesses that have been here and would like to continue to stay and invest here.
And I do want to yield to the city attorney Could you speak to that, please?
Certainly, Honorable Mayor, it is not a conflict for Avonmarsh to come before this commission and before the Brownfield Development Authority to ask for a benefit such as this. They qualify under the statute, and I'm going to actually have the commission look at it in a reverse manner. If the commission denied the opportunity for Avonmarsh to come in to seek the statutorily provided benefit, then that would be more of a conflict than anything. So they are entitled under the statute to apply, and I would encourage you to very seriously consider it under the statute.
Any others? So, thank you for considering the city of Benton Harbor for this investment. I just had an opportunity to meet with former Mayor of Detroit, Mike Duggan, and he talked about how one of the greatest factors in the rebounding of Detroit was residents, new people moving in, and as well as retaining, because people pay into the income tax. And there's a lot of brownfield work in Detroit to aid in that process. So it's an opportunity for the city to increase our population or retain or not lose further population, but it's also people who will be paying into the city, water customers, income tax, and people shopping. I hope that it can serve as a model for some of the other buildings downtown. Some are State Theater and others, but in this particular case, your building is not falling in. But as you said, it's much needed in terms of modernization and upgrading and turning it into, ultra-modern housing in the 21st century in the second decade. So thank you for that consideration, and I want to open it up for comments from the public. Pardon me, it's open for the public at this time. If you want to speak, please come to the microphone.
Berrien County Commissioner Mamie L. Yarbrough. My address is 228 Territorial Road, Benton Harbor, Michigan. I had a couple of questions. The lady, I didn't understand if she was with Avonmarsh or State of Michigan, Brownfield.
Benton Harbor Brownfield.
Okay, she works with you all.
Correct, she's the
Okay.
consultant.
And then, when there are 8 units and we need hundreds of housing, how are you going to choose them?
So with the public comment, it's not like a Q&A. Typically not, but because we don't want him answering from the seat, if you have questions, you can direct them to the chair, and then maybe we can give them an opportunity to come back up and respond.
And then I ask you, Mayor, how are they going to choose when there are 8 units and hundreds of people needing housing?
Okay, noted. Any?
That's it. That's all
Okay.
I want to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Alice Adams. Good evening, everyone. 152 Lake Avenue, Benton Harbor, Michigan. My question is not actually a question, but actually a suggestion, because I think that it needs to be very clear today before the Brownfield consultant leaves here. I'm a Brownfield Authority Board member, and I no way and no terms speak for the Brownfield as a whole. But I think that it needs to be very clear that Benton Harbor is not giving Avonmarsh anything. We collect their taxes and we allow them to, I wish that you would make that clear. That's all.
Well, that's why it's no conflict,
Exactly.
because,
I don't understand that.
right,
still.
because the brownfield is a public entity. And there's no favors, no privilege being given. It's strictly by the law. And if they fall within the law, then just like anybody else, they can take advantage of the law that's in place to develop economic projects in the city of Benton Harbor. You're recognized.
Hi, good evening, Commissioners. My name is Marla Schneider. I'm President CEO of Cornerstone Alliance. We are at 80 West Main in Benton Harbor. This project is impactful because it helps Benton Harbor achieve the goal in the master plan of doubling your population. And not only that, we have a housing study that was done in Benton Harbor stating that you need 600 units of housing in the next 5 years. So this, even though it is 8 units, helps to achieve that, and every little bit helps. I look at some of these projects as catalytic projects for the community. So my belief is that this could be one of those projects for the community to spur apartments along Main Street where we are. With it being 60 to 80% AMI, I think that's also very intentional by Avonmarsh to make this affordable housing for the community. So that's another positive in my mind to support this project. And as the mayor and Commissioner Henderson mentioned, this helps to increase the tax base not only with property taxes, but also with the income tax. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public before we ask our guests to come back and respond to any questions that were raised? So the question was, how will you all choose?
That's a good question. I don't know. We have not had apartments before. Our intention is to make these a good fit for the community, make these affordable, receive applications, and so I guess we haven't figured out exactly the details of that, but I think I mentioned earlier that we occupy about half of the building and have for a while. It's a large building, 3 buildings. And we could continue that way. We feel it's in the best interest of the community if we condense our operations to the first floor and create living space on the second floor when there's an opportunity. So that's what we're trying to do here. So as far as exactly how we do that, other than applications, I couldn't tell you.
Thank you. So with that being said, I would just close by saying there's different ways, Commissioner. I know Whirlpool, they hired a third party for the Imogene Hull Flats to handle applications to choose whom they would admit based upon the application, but that's the prerogative, as you know, of the company, how they want to handle. But I'm sure it'll be a fair process. So thank you. With that being said, we'd like to bring it to our next item, thank you, which is an update by County Commissioner Yarbrough. Mamie L. Yarbrough.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Marcus Muhammad, other commissioners, members, residents. I thank you for this opportunity. It's been a while, I think, or a month or two since I've been here. And perhaps each time I come, I may talk on the same subject, but I think as the public hearing shows you, there are grand needs for housing for our residents that are here and new people that will come in. There is such a need. And our tax sale, the Marion County tax foreclosure sale, is something that we've always been able to get into. And I'd just like to let you know that the main day is August 27th, probably in a week. What I would like to do is give you a couple of things. There is, if you just choose to go on the computer and look, there is a way to do that. And you can go to the site, and to the site is tax-sale, S-A-L-E .info. Should you be interested in being in the sale with an opportunity to bid on property, then you must register. You get on the computer, you must put your name and information, and also a charge card with an amount of $1,000 to be involved in the tax sale. Once you put that, you register and put that down payment up, then you can't back out. It was always a charge. It used to be $500 when we were at the bank. So there's always been a charge to be able to be in the sale. I want to let you know that there are 120 units, and some of that is vacant land. Some are houses, some in good shape, some not. And then there are a couple of businesses, because I asked if there were any properties for people that, are considering expanding or doing something. And there are only 2 abandoned properties, or she said a couple abandoned businesses. And I asked where they were, and they're in the city of Benton Harbor. And she said they're not in good shape. I didn't ask what street or what the address was, but I wanted to have this information and encourage you, go together, your families or something. I've been saying this for a number of years, and every now and then we have things that come up, and people will call us from New Mexico or somewhere else and say, how many properties do you have? Do you still have them? And buy them all. And so that we're letting it get away from us. We need to do something and take advantage of this. I'd like to say to you that the Marion County Commission meets each Thursday morning at 10:30. We're also on YouTube, and then we have our first meeting at 8:30 a.m., and then at 10:30 is the regular meeting, when it's all of the meetings that we have are open to the public. So I hope sometime to see you out there. That will encourage me and help me to feel better. I thank you so much for this opportunity, Mayor Mohammed. Thank you.
Thank you. This brings us to our citizens' comments or public participation. The city clerk will call you according to the sign-in sheet. Madam Clerk.
Debbie Kaiser.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Debbie Kaiser, and I'm just here on regards to Roof Wiz, the guy that they're giving so many grants out of Ben Harbor and stuff to do our roofs and stuff like that. And he's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's getting the grant money, and he's not doing what he's supposed to do. My roof has been on my house 3 years. It's leaking. I just had to pay $1,500 to get my kitchen redone. My insurance company is threatening to cancel me. But he's getting all this grant money out of Ben Harbor that's coming from Community Action Agency.
Do you have any further comment?
No, I do not. I just don't feel like he should be getting money and grant money for stuff that he's not doing and not doing properly.
So if you want to file a complaint, then you can contact the city clerk's office. And
I've called people. When you call people, you just get a runaround. So,
Have you called the city clerk's office?
Yes, I have. And they tell you to call somebody else, you call somebody else, they tell you to call. It's just a big runaround. But my only thing is, why keep letting this guy get all this money and he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing?
Okay, if you can send, do you have photos?
Not with me, but at home I do. Yes.
Okay, if you can send those photos to the city clerk's email, then we can get it to the city manager's office and start a review.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Erlene Parker Pettigrew.
Same thing that she's here, what she was talking about. I had a roofing deed, and he came there. I haven't talked with him at all until I refused to sign the paper. And he came there and he brought all that lumber, he taken all of it back with him. And my roof was put up in 2001. And I feel that I should have had a new roof instead of shingles. The next 5 years or 10 years, and they got my house tied up for 10 years with this grant. And before the next 10 years, I'll be needing another roofing.
Do you have pictures?
Yes, we got the pictures, and they sent in different pictures to us. The lawyer got it, and they not even my house. They faking up how, pretending it's my house, but it even ain't my house. And that morning when I got up, there was one Spanish man sitting out on the walkway. And then about 5 or 6 more came up from cars, about 3 cars. I ain't seen nothing but a Spanish man. I didn't see the contractor until I refused to sign the paper. But he said he came there 3 times. But while I said that, I could see they were at my house for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And let them tell it that they did my complete roof.
How long have you been in possession of those documents, attorney?
Honorable Mayor, we just made copies right as the meeting was starting, so I have not had a chance to look at these, but I have been in touch with Mrs. Pettigrew and her niece, and what we're trying to do, we've reached out to the contractor, received some pictures from the contractor, forwarded those to the building official, and we are actually going to meet out at the site and go over what needs to happen, and he's going to inspect it. So we're working on that towards the end of the week, and hopefully we can bring it to a resolution.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you.
Marla Schneider. Mary Alice Adams.
Me again, Mary Alice Adams, 152 Lake Avenue, Benton Harbor, Michigan. Oh, it's easy to sit over here and point fingers at all of you with my complaints. As a tax-paying resident, I had one during the last election that came down here and did exactly that, and have all these court documents, texts to my husband, and I'm still trying to figure out what a pink slipper has to do with anything. But I say that to say that people need to hold people accountable. Because when people point fingers at people, it does damage to their reputation. When I sat over there as a residing commissioner, before I even took a seat, I had the commissioner that previously, a commissioner years ago, that recommended that I would make a good city leader, being as concerned as I was. One thing he told me was about when we go into closed sessions, I'll never forget that. I've been dealing with my family in Flint, and just recently on the 15th was the anniversary of me losing my baby girl to epilepsy. But between Flint and Benton Harbor, she didn't have a chance with the water crisis. There's a person that was over the state cap, that was our governor, that was not held accountable. And I'm just rethinking all of this. These people in Flint, angry, have not been paid and are not going to get paid. And I'm thinking to myself, with everything that's going on in Benton Harbor finally on the move, I'm asking our city attorney to find out, and I would like to know how many of you all. I declined, because I'm not going to be trying to collect anything off of my deceased child for a water lawsuit. I want to know if any of the residing commissioners are under a lawsuit towards the city of Benton Harbor, because we're headed towards broke. And people think we'll have money, and we don't. Been begging for grants for years, they're showing up. We're able to get something done, finally. Still trying to do some building to bring in more tax-paying residents to supply more water usage. I want to know if any violations have taken place. Because, see, I'm running for office, I'm coming back. And I want to be one of those.
Commissioner,
I just want to be one of those.
But you can't talk about running for office
well, I
in a
did.
public
Okay,
building.
okay, it is what it is.
Thank you.
But I just want to know, since everybody wants to be held accountable and hold others accountable, I want to know.
Your time is up, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir.
Derek Bishop.
Good evening, Commissioners. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Derek Bishop. Before I start, Commissioner Satana Warren, congratulations on your daughter baptism too. My question was to the memo. I'm looking at the memo and looking at the letter from Fleece and Vandenbrink to City Manager Alex Little. And under the justification, it says that the project includes rehabilitation for filters number 5 through 12 with a bid of $3.8 million. However, in the letter to Mr. Little, it says that only 4 out of the 8 filters will be removed and replaced. Like, is that a typo or oversight or something? Because that don't make sense to me. Like, are the other 4 filters going to be replaced and repaired, and or when is that going to happen? Because that's not stated in the memo nor the letter.
So it's not a Q&A, public comment, and I just want to be clear, is for the public to speak.
Yes, sir.
Staff comments, commission comments come after the agenda items are voted on, and then staff and council comment, but it's separate.
Yes, sir.
Public comment and the commission and staff comment are separate, but you can give your information in writing to the city clerk, and we can have it addressed in that way.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. So what I had a question about applying for different positions on the committees and boards too. Would I get that question to the city clerk as well?
You can, your public comment is yours, so you have the freedom to, I can't censor and say what you can, what you can't. This is your 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
No more comments.
This brings us to our consent calendar. Is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar, or are there items that should be separated. Commissioner Clark Griffin is recognized.
I like to separate number 2.
Duly noted.
Separate number 3.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry. Is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar?
So move.
Support.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard? Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? Yes. Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the first separated item from the consent calendar, resolution adopting an amendment Brownfield Plan for Ship Canal Project, Site Chapter 4 of Comprehensive Brownfield Plan. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. Is there support?
Support.
It's supported by Commissioner Singleton. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. This was discussed during another committee meeting. It brought back memories because I remember when the Ship Canal project was talked about around the 2000, around that time, and it had a lot of opportunities for Benton Harbor residents to be involved with the local water canal. Since that time, properties has been sold to other people, and the Ship Canal project is really at a halt because they sold the property off so that it could not be developed. So I just have a problem when I see this kind of action, because it follows right along with gentrification. And so just because of they're closing down that Ship Canal project, I'm going to vote no for it.
Mr. Manager, could you speak to the 7 city blocks and bounded by Riverview Drive, West Main Street, Water Street, and North Side, and the former Benton Harbor Ship Canal in Benton Harbor, Michigan, as shown in Figure 1 and 2 of the plan, more particularly described in the legal description of the property contained within attached plan? Can you speak to that, please?
Yes, sir. This was a brownfield plan that was put together a number of years ago before I returned to the city. And essentially, it covered a significant number of parcels of property with a general plan for development. The specific parcels that the plan is being amended to exclude, there was nothing done on those, and there's no capture or anything of that nature. And if I might ask Mr. Chairman, Teresa could give even more specifics on that, I believe.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor Mohammed. So as City Manager Little was explaining, this plan was put in place back in 2002. This city has one of the oldest active brownfield authorities in the state. Statute just came about in 1996, so to have a plan in place in 2002 was, very forward-thinking at the time. So it was a very large geographic area. It's not the way we typically do brownfield plans today. We try to keep it more specific to one individual project as opposed to an entire, 7 blocks we're trying to redevelop. So in review of those documents over time, I don't have all that historic data, but there is no current capture, there is no current development agreements. We're not aware of anything that has happened on these 3 parcels with respect to that plan. So this resolution is abolishing those 3 parcels from the plan, but still keeping that plan in place. So it's not taking away from anything from the original vision of why that former Ship Canal plan was put in place, so that if there is current capture, for example, still going into the authority's LBRF account or things, any existing agreements, we're not touching those. We're only removing these 3 parcels that do not have any current agreements, no current redevelopment, and no current tax capture.
Do you know what developments currently exist in this current brownfield plan for the canal?
I want to say there's 35 parcels, so there's a lot. I can't speak to all of those off the top of my head that have happened over the years. I could get that information and get it back to the board.
And may I ask, what was the motivation to bring it now?
So these are the 3 parcels, 89, 95, and 101 West Main Street, that are subject to the Aben Marsh redevelopment. And so we're not currently capturing, so there was nothing under that plan. So we're removing them since there's no action under the current plan to support the new project.
So the current project that we just approved is on the 3 parcels?
Correct. I don't believe that resolution has come yet, but yes, that is the same project, those same parcels.
So you all didn't want it in the previous brownfield plan?
I can't speak to why it was put in there in 2002, other than it's my understanding that that entire area was set up for redevelopment, so that this new tool that was in place was available to draw development in. As I spoke to earlier, that's different than how we do things today, which is we have a project ready and we design a specific plan around it. It's much cleaner to implement a plan that way. Now we're going back through historical data, trying to understand all the records. I've only been with the city since 2023. So while I have some of that historic documentation, I don't necessarily have everything from the last 23 years.
Do you know one current development that's in that plan? Because that's a lot of land and a lot of 7 city blocks, is that correct? Is there one development that currently is in that plan?
I know there are some that are currently capturing. I believe we had one that the Brownfield Authority took action on recently, one of our Blue Star entities that did have a project in there, but I can't speak to the exact address off the top of my head.
Because, so basically, we're removing these 3 and activating or extending the current from 2002?
If I may, there's no extension of the time frame. So once that plan is done with its, I presume it was 30 years, including capture of the LBRF, that plan will end. But right now, there's still a few years left on the plan. So this current action removes those 3 parcels and amends the plan so that the rest of the plan is still in place.
Any other questions from anyone else? I don't want to dominate. I just, I realize the divorce, the current development, they want it divorced from the 2002 agreement, which I can understand. I just would like to know more about the previous agreement, what properties are in that agreement, what businesses currently are functioning under that agreement. I would imagine the old barber shop, the Leon's, that was probably one of the properties that was in that agreement, and amongst others. But in keeping with the one in 2002, keeping it active, if there's no businesses currently benefiting from that plan, then why would we need to keep it in place?
There are some that are still being paid off.
We just don't know.
I simply said there are some businesses that are still active under the old Ship Canal plan, and they're still being paid out. But as she said, they typically go about 30 years, so you've got like 6 or 7 years left on it, and it'll be expired.
I have no other questions. Chair recognizes Commissioner Warren.
Just gonna call out, so I have 353 West Main as one of the Ship Canal project addresses that's in the plan still.
Yeah, I was thinking that the amended plan was in this packet, but I don't see it. I know it was presented to the city. That sounds right, that might be one of the addresses.
Commissioner Warren, is that a secret document? No, I'm just, you got some privy information that was not given to the mayor's office.
No, that it's just the meeting notes from our I'm a Brownfield Authority Board member.
You recognize it?
If I may, Mayor, I do believe that there is also capture into the Brownfield Authority's local Brownfield revolving fund, which is what is typically captured in the last 5 years of a plan that helps create a sustainable program so they can use that to support other projects within the city. So if the entire plan was terminated, for example, then that would cut that capture short.
Duly noted. Thank you, Commissioner Warren. I call for the question.
Commissioner Kennard?
No.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
No.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the second separated item, which is a resolution adopting a brownfield plan for the Abbott Marsh redevelopment project. Is there a motion for the approval?
So move.
Motion is made by Commissioner Singleton. Is there support?
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner Isom. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Fourth Ward Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Okay. First, I just want to say, okay, I'm going to read the justification. This brownfield plan for the Amber Marsh, the redevelopment plan, will promote the private investment and will provide tax incentives. Okay, and then I'm just going to move down a little bit. So for clarity for the residents, we are voting today to allow Brownfield Authority to possibly give Amber Marsh a tax capture up to, will not exceed $1,796,828. And it's anticipated to be $1,045,598 based on tax increment. Just wanted to clarify that. Also, the president of Amber Marsh stated that Amber Marsh has been here 50 years, and they anticipate with this redevelopment plan that they will hire some more employees. Now, they have 50 employees now, and out of 50 of them, it's only 2 Benton Harbor resident. Also, it was stated today that a housing study was shown and have shown that it's where I put that. It was stated today that a housing study has been shown. Now, the president stated that the houses might be $1,100, 2-bedroom might be $1,500. If a housing study was done, the average resident only makes $27,000 to $29,000. So how do we get this rent at this high rate if a housing study was done? Also, it was some unanswered questions. One was asked by County Commissioner Mamie Yarbrough, and it was not answered from the president. And last but not least, how dare the city attorney try to filibuster our vote and say if we vote no, it might be anticipated as a conflict of interest. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Kennard.
Yes, this is one of the problems that I have, and we are told a lot of times that we cannot get answers into private things, but if it's concerning the city, I think we as commissioners deserve to know certain things. And there was questions that I needed to have answered in the past that I didn't get them, and I was blocked from getting those answers. It's my responsibility as an elected official, anything that goes on as far as our business of Benton Harbor, that we are obligated to get that, and we're not to be blocked from that. But until I get the answers that I want from some of the internal things, I need to probably talk to our attorney, and there's some information that I need to get. And I don't want to just verbally come out with it now because I don't want to be held, in any kind of action. But I need to get these answers so that I can have some clarity, because there's many times they used to have, they want you to vote on these things at the last minute when you don't have a clear answer. And there's answers that I need as far as this project going forward. If there isn't, as I asked, a conflict of interest, and I will understandingly tell you why I feel that way, and I want that answer. Thank you.
So I can support this project. This is one of the many that has gone toward the rebuilding of the city of Benton Harbor. In 2021, we voted for the Imogene Hull Flats development, the corner, which is up, capacity waiting list. We voted for the corner Wall Street in 2021, which is in construction now. A few years ago, we voted the building right here on the corner, the former bookstore, which was doomed for demolition. Now it's 14 units with a waiting list, commercial space at the bottom, Verde Juice. So it's going with the renaissance of downtown Benton Harbor, which is commercial as well as residential. And as I travel around the country, I can see the same pattern. DC, Grand Rapids, Tucson, Arizona, I mean, it's everywhere where cities are revamping, reshaping, reinventing their downtown areas, and Benton Harbor should be no different. We have a great opportunity here in this city, and every time developers, realtors see brick being built or put together with shovels, dirt being thrown, it attracts. You know, activity breeds activity. Business brings business. So maybe those 8 units will inspire somebody to open up a cleaner's next door or across the street. And that's how we will rebuild this community. Maybe it'll be a resident. It'll inspire them, a group of residents, to put their money together and have a nice, whatever it may be. But when people see people moving and coming into downtown Benton Harbor, I can guarantee you that's when you'll see business follow. I asked a question about Starbucks. Why can't we have a Starbucks downtown Benton Harbor? And they said they look at per capita income. They look at traffic. They look at the money surrounding the area. So we want to be diverse in this new housing project and boom, where we have the corner of Wall Street, which is low income, but we also have right up the street a market rate, and this would be affordable. So we want to be able to offer residency to all people, because that's what's going to make Benton Harbor stronger and make Benton Harbor better, which is why I'm supporting this development. I want to recognize Commissioner Singleton.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I think in that some of the housing studies that was done, it was determined that it was the middle income was, there was lack of housing for people in that bracket. So I think when we tackle this housing shortage, everything, you know, can't be, you know, low income. You know, there's folks who, you know, want to move to the city who, you know, don't fit in that bracket, you know. And I think, you know, if we want to build our population, we also have to make housing available for them too. So not to discount anybody else, but I think if you want to build your population, you got to have some housing for everybody. And I think this project kind of falls into that category too, for the missing middle. So I can support this project.
I call for the question.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? No. Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard?
No.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the third item separated, the reappointment to the Library Board of Mamie Yarbrough. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. Is there support? Support. It is supported by Commissioner Henderson. Is there discussion? I want to recognize a fellow, or not fellow, but a library board, long-standing library board member representing the city commission, Commissioner Isom.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I just want to say I support this reappointment. You know, I've been sitting on the library board as a trustee as long as I've been a commissioner, and I have watched this young lady. I have learned from her too, as her leadership and her vision of the library. You know, and it's happening. You know, and she come here and get us updates, but the library board is something totally different from City Hall. And she running like a fine oil machine too. She does a great job. I didn't get a chance to say nothing at the committee meeting, but I want to say this, Commissioner Yarbrough, I can't wait to see your name. What is it? Mamie L. Yarbrough, you said? 2 Yarbroughs, right? But I can't wait for that. And you just does, she's, you know, with the committee, the finances, and you know, libraries making money. You know, I said, man, I joined just to think about getting books in there, but it's more than that. And you have learned me that and showed me that with your leadership, your vision, and the library is growing. Thank you so much, and I can support this. Reappointment. You ready?
I want to recognize Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I just want to say I concur with Commissioner Ison, and I served for 6 years. He's 1 year longer than I served. So I served for 6 years on the library board with Commissioner Mamie Yarbrough, and I can't think of nobody else that could serve as president for the library board, especially since it's named after her now. So that's a great honor, and I think she will continue to do great things. She's continuing to serving on so many other things in addition to being county commissioner. When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
I would just say, in my stupidity, I made the mistake of not supporting Commissioner Yarbrough in an election. And of course, she clobbered the person I supported. And I learned a great lesson. Never go against the Yarbrough machine. And it's a legacy. Her husband, Mayor Charles Yarbrough, his brother, Commissioner Glenn Bootlow Yarbrough, but she has certainly made a name in and of herself. The president of the School Board of Education, she, I believe, is the longest standing member on the Barron County Board of Commissioners. Is that correct? And she is our decorated president of the library board. So it is with great honor that I support this resolution. And thank you for your service. And not only would I like to see the letters or the sign, but I would like to see a beautiful painting like the one of Lula Lee on the walls in the library. Thank you. I call for the question.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard,
Yes, yes, yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes, yes, and yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
And that is a complete yes without any objections. Now, that's pretty impressive to get a unanimous, undisputed vote on this city council. So you are very special.
Thank you.
This brings us to our staff comments. I'd like to recognize our Deputy Director of Public Safety, Director Clark.
No report this evening, Your Honor.
The chair recognizes our City Attorney, Attorney Seneca.
I have no report this evening, Honorable Mayor.
The chair recognizes our Assistant City Manager and City Clerk, Clerk Moore.
I have nothing this evening.
The chair recognizes our City Manager, Manager Little.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to take the opportunity to say thank you for Avonmarsh, for what you're doing. You could have done that someplace else, but you did it at home. When I first came to this town in 1984, Ron Schultz was about 4 years in on his venture of creating Avonmarsh. And we sort of worked together hand in hand on getting a lot of things started to try to start turning this town around. And after that, I understand Chris Cook, who became a subsequent president, did a lot of things with the city, including helping to write its zoning ordinances and other things. And that organization has been a part of the city for a long time. And thank you, Marla, for coming in support of it.
The chair recognizes Commissioner Kennard.
All of you for coming out and spending your time with us. I said about an hour, hour and a half or two. However, it's on your time. Thank you all for coming out. Mamie, congratulations. And you've been around a long time. We girls hang around a long time, so it's good that you put it to good use. And I'd like to thank you. And one of the things I do want us to remember as commissioners, that you are all our voters. You vote us in. We're supposed to think about the best interests of our city. We spend a lot of time in trying to get things that we don't have, a clear understanding and passing it. But when these young ladies come in and they're having a problem with the roof, and it's been continuously someone coming in concerned about the service that they've gotten, and we don't see the energy put into getting that resolved for them. And it's important for us as elected officials to work and make sure that you all get an answer and get results for what you come here for. I remember you all have been here before, and there's other people that's come in about the tacky work that was done for their roof. And it's time that we as commissioners, every one of us, get busy. I'm not talking about some of us, because some of us really work at it. But the entire majority of us need to get there and make sure that the questions that they come and ask about what is going on, and to make sure that it is resolved, we are obligated to do that and make sure that it happens. We got a city manager. When you call, it should be directed to him, and you should get an answer. If you don't get an answer, let us know, and every last one of us should step it up and make sure you get an answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank all the residents that did come out tonight, and especially the ones that spoke up for themselves, because I know you probably thought that it was only happening to you, but it's happening to quite a few people. So I hear Avonmarsh's name being called a lot, and I can go back with some history about Avonmarsh. I can go in and let you know that there have never been too many jobs offered by Avonmarsh. Avonmarsh grew. At one time, we were paying them $275,000 a year for engineering services. Now they're entrenched into our bank account quite a bit, and that's the reason why I constantly asking for an invoice for Avonmarsh, so I can exactly see how Avonmarsh is where Avonmarsh is taking our money to, and it's showing up. So another thing I bring back about Abermarch. We asked Abermarch to support our softball team, and they did. They gave us a $25 donation. We were so disgusted, but we kept it and we used it. But it was very disheartening for a company that was here, had been here for 25, 30 years, and they donated that kind of money. That shows you where their thought pattern was. And now that they're entrenched into all our engineering projects, and you hear people talk about the end results of the projects, Abermarch has some responsibility to make sure that these projects are done right, because they are our engineers. So we as elected officials are going to have to hold Abermarch a little bit feet to the fire on what they were supposed to be doing for us. And when the project is not right, they should use some of that $1 million insurance policy that they have to take care of it, instead of the city coming out of their pocket to take care of it. So there's some history to Abermarch right here in Benton Harbor, and it doesn't look well. And then when I hear them don't want to get into brownfield, and one brownfield from 2002, and want to get into another one now in 2025, sets up big red flags for me as to what is their real purpose. And when I say gentrification, you can see it happening right here in the 4th Ward. And Abermarch is part of it. So just keep letting them have their way and have no one watching, and it will go down. Thank you.
I'd just like to remind the city council that when we speak from our official platforms, be mindful that our comments are not defaming, slanderous, and innuendo
Point
of
order.
any
Point of order.
any
Point of
business,
Point of
any
order.
person. It's not
Point
point
of
of
order.
order. It's fact.
Yes.
I'm stating.
She
I'm-
can say
no,
what
no,
she want, and
you
you have
cannot
done
just
it.
say what you want.
You've done it. So
No, you
point of
cannot
order,
just
you
say
will not
you
single her
cannot
out.
just say what you
Point of
want.
order. You
I'm
have.
reminding the city
have talked
council
about- you have talked
that
about business
no,
you don't like.
Commissioner.
Yes, point of order. You can get what you want, point of order.
I'm reminding the city council that you cannot defame,
She's, if it's
slander,
factual, it's not defamed.
any business or person
Point of
in this
order.
community.
you don't
You
do
can
it again.
speak from facts, you can speak from truth,
Point of order.
but it's a thin line when you start making accusations
Not
and saying
gaslight her or
things
bully her.
that can damage a
Point of
person or
Point
a
of order.
business.
Point
And if
of
you
order.
do so, you're speaking for yourself,
Point
not
of
for the
order.
city of
Point
Benton
of
Harbor.
order.
Point of order,
I
Mayor.
want to recognize Commissioner Warren.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Thanks to everyone that came out. I want to thank Abermarch. I talked about this a couple of meetings ago, but since you're here, you get to hear it firsthand. Maybe a couple months ago, a comment was made about Abermarch not employing enough people from Benton Harbor. So instead of not saying anything about it, Abermarch and I worked together, and we're hoping for a big change in the future. We had 3 young people from the city of Benton Harbor come into the Abermarch office this summer. Abermarch did pay them a stipend, and they work with various engineers and learned a lot about different roles. We would love to do the program next year, but I need everyone's help with getting people actually interested in engineering to come on and volunteer to do that. So that was a wonderful thing. In addition, Abermarch will be partnering with myself again with my workforce development program, and various engineers will be coming into the Boys and Girls Club, and they will be speaking about different engineering careers. So if we can get more students in Benton Harbor to major in engineering and be excited about it, it'll be easier for Abbott Marsh to hire more people from Benton Harbor. So I definitely want to give Abbott Marsh a shout out and say we do appreciate that, because every little bit helps. And I have one more thing. I'll talk to Mr. Little, but we will be having our community yard sale. I don't have a flyer made because the date is kind of rocky with the construction on Pipestone. So as soon as I can get a approximate date of completion, I'll get flyers made, but keep an eye out for that. But we will do our second ward, but everyone is welcome. Our community yard sale will be, I'm hoping, end of September, early October, but again, I'll get that date to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, and continue the great work. Chair recognizes Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd just like to thank everyone who spoke tonight. Abermarch, this is just another project happening in the city, and as some of the commissioners stated, I think it's a really great thing. And I guess businesses like Abermarch, being in the community for so long, has history, and a lot of businesses who've remained in the city have histories. So I don't think that that's unusual, but I just, think there's always room for improvements, and I think there is a effort being made to improve that. So thank you, and I think it was Commissioner Singleton who said that, or somebody just recently, that this project could have been taken someplace else or moved into a different community. So I don't take it lightly that businesses decide, private entities decide to remain here or even move here. And government is supposed to be that place that makes it simple and a little easier for businesses to be able to do business in the city of Benton Harbor and want to move here. And one of the indicators of that is city government. So when people are looking at and watching and seeing how government responds to new businesses or residents or people coming in, that makes a huge difference. Because if I was watching and seeing and hearing, I'm saying something else in my mental. But thank you, because cities are supposed to be diverse in every way and providing opportunities for residents, businesses in every way. And so Benton Harbor is becoming that place, and I think it can continue to grow as we continue to learn, to hear, and to be accepting of those willing to take their private dollars to invest in the city of Benton Harbor. And I think that is something we just need to remember. People can take their private dollars and do whatever they like, but they're choosing our community when the township is building and doing all kinds of amazing things. They did get a Starbucks out there by Chick-fil-A. And so I think some of those same kinds of things and businesses can happen, but I think government has a responsibility to be opening and receptive. And if there is something that you don't understand about what is being voted on, each of us have a responsibility, especially when you sit on the Brownfield Committee and then you come into the chambers and you still don't understand what's happening. You have a responsibility to understand the nuances of what's being voted on. You have a responsibility to understand or ask the questions before coming into these chambers to get a greater understanding of what it is that's being voted on. We all have a responsibility as a government official, as people setting policy and making policy and voting on things that affect, even though some of the residents don't are not personally know Abermarch or have that particular business. We have a responsibility to make sure that these businesses that we're voting on, they will improve our community. Because as we stated, those are more water customers, those are more tax, that's another tax base. There is layers to businesses coming into this community, and as a government entity, we have a responsibility, and I think we need to keep that at the forefront when we're conducting business for the city. So thank you all, and I appreciate you all coming out and hearing.
Thank you, Commissioner. Chair recognizes Commissioner Singleton.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I thank everybody for coming out. Commissioner Yarborough, thank you again for your service. I don't see how you keep doing it, year after year after year. You've been doing it since I was a little kid, and I'm a senior citizen now, so you've been doing it quite a while, and, I'm glad to see that you're still doing it, so. I think me and another commissioner was talking about before the meeting, you want to leave out on your own and don't want nobody carrying you out, so, but when it's time, and so serve long as you feel like serving, and appreciate the great job that you're doing, As rated Abbott Marsh, I did see this summer too that they took in some kids, and I thought that was a great thing. A lot of times, businesses do get beat up on about who they hired or didn't hire, and from what I'm hearing from a lot of them too, that they do try, but there's qualifications, and interest, so it's good to see a business opening up their doors and say, hey, if you want to learn how to do this or get involved in this company, our doors are open. Matter of fact, we even give you a stipend to come in and get mentored. So hopefully the other businesses do the same, and I think that's how you begin to build your workforce. I'm sure businesses would love to hire somebody that live close to their business, that's probably going to help with attendance and everything else, so it's just, everything's not going to be perfect, and if we try to wait around till everything is perfect to do something, we'll never get nothing done. So I think we just have to keep moving. Things that need to be worked on, or tweaked, we do it, but don't stop doing things to wait. If you're waiting on everything to be perfect, like I said, it just won't happen. So just keep doing what you're doing. I think this commission need to take that in mind too. That people are suffering. And people are looking for answers, and people are looking for ways to get involved, and we just got to keep creating those opportunities to get folks involved, get them up to speed. There's new things coming, get them ready for it. Hopefully, companies come in. I think the big thing now is AI and technical stuff. We need to get our folks ready. Construction, we need these houses. We want to double our housing size, double our population. So that means a lot of building. Let's get people ready for those jobs, and I think everybody in the end will be happy, and we'll live in a nice, prosperous community. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming, and those of you that's listening. If you guys notice, every time comments are made, some of my colleagues, it's towards stuff I said. But I'm used to it, 4 years. It's fine. I said what I said. And if I made good money from the city, I wouldn't go nowhere either. And it was factual. 50 years. 50 employee, 2 Ben Harbor resident. It was said. It was said, it was asked, and it was said. So that was facts. And on the, I want to just say too, 2 of the residents that came, that got those contractors from Southwestern Community Action Agency, they stay right next door. So this same contractor is messing up their roof. Now the 3rd resident right next door to them is about to get her roof done from the same guy. This has to be stopped. This has to be stopped, and it needs to be done promptly, because he needs to not be able to come and mess up somebody else's roof. Not only is it messing up people's roof, it's messing up people's homes. They are paying money to repair stuff that damage from the roof being messed up. This needs to be done expeditiously, not another day. And then on the good foot, let me tell you what's going on in the 4th Ward. This Saturday, August 23rd, from 12 to 4, 870 Nate Wells Senior Drive, Greater Community Fellowship, I will be having my 4th annual resource fair, community giveaway, and fall cleanup. We have different informational booths. I think I got about maybe 15 vendors that's going to be giving all kinds of free resources and giveaways for people. I have 3-4 tables with giveaways, just clothes, meet any personal need, clothes, shoes, personal hygiene, just everything, housewares. We have, food, stacks, just some of everything. Everything you need is going to be there. We have the Ben Harbor fire truck giving away smoke detector, carbon monoxide detectors. You can tour whether you're an adult or a kid of the fire truck, giving away hats and stickers. Just some of everything. Crowds of Art always be a part of it, doing activities for the kids. Last year we gave away 51 backpack full of school supplies. I plan on doing that also this year. And then we also will have school supplies on the tables, along with a lot of other things going on. So all the cleanup, resource fair, community giveaway, all will be going on at same time. This year it's going to be, every year I plan to be bigger and better. This year it's going to be even bigger, where we're going to bless so many people. So God is good, and he's just been working in my favor despite any opposition. God is with me, and God is using me to bless. I know what my calling. He appointed me to this position. That's why I am unopposed, and that's why, because my work speaks for itself. And I'm going to keep doing great things, keep doing things for the resident. That's who voted us in, and that's my #1 goal. So come Saturday, and we're going to have a good time. Come hang out. I said, come hang out with your commissioner. You can get a lawn chair, and most people come and hang out, and we have just a good time. I do raffles every 20 to 30 minutes. Just a lot of good things. A lot of surprises going to be going on. Even going to be some artwork going on by the wonderful artist, Miss Alea Horn. So it's just going to be a lot of great things going on. Come on out. Have a great night. And it's open to the community, not just for a Ward resident, every year.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Commissioner Isom.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I do concur with Commissioner Griffin, though, but because the people have been coming in about these roofs. I have told people about the roofs, the projects that we had. The money was there for it. So I'm telling people where to go and the agency. But if the work is not right, 'cause a roof is important. That's one of the main. You don't want to be in there dripping pans and pots, and that's, if we gonna do it, let's do it right. You can't keep going on top of no roof. We got senior citizen out, a roof. If they didn't put it on right, it's causing more damage. So I think we do need to look into that. If the people getting the money, not doing it right, I'm tired of Ben Harbor being on the back burner. Let's get the citizens, the residents, and let whoever getting the grant money, the contractors, do the job right the first time. Thank you. I'm finished with that. Well, thank you, Commissioner Yarbrough, for your leadership. Like I said again, I can't wait to see your name on there. And I hope I'm still on the board when it happened. We still got a lot of work to do. And we're going to get it done, because you got to follow your vision. So we're going to get it done, and thank you for your leadership. And just tonight, we voted on some things, on some resolutions. We're going to get 35 fire hydrants, maybe 37. The water plant going to get some repairs. We can check off a couple of those ACOs from the state that have been put on us. We can check some of those off by keeping up our agreement We're going to get some tree service. We voted on, and most important, another thing, the Bobo Brazil Armory Community Center. We did have the money for that to get that work started. You can see all in that area that the Ox Creek, the basketball rims going up, things are happening. I know since I've been on since 2010, yeah, it was August 10, yeah, 2010, when we had RTAB or something. RTAB had to vote to get me on here. And now I just can watch things. Sometimes I sit out there and just look down the street. I remember that building, 126 Pipestone. It was all walked up in there, and because things are happening. You know what? Because I expect great things to happen. And that's what I always say. I expect people to come through that door and make things happen, just like Abbott Marsh did tonight. Thank you for coming in and wanting to be part of the master plan to add to add up the population in Ben Harbor. So things are happening in the city of Ben Harbor. And maybe with Abbott Marsh, they might put in their agenda to give away like Lions tickets, Detroit Lions tickets or something.
Order, that's, you going a little beyond the threshold.
Okay.
No giveaway tickets for council people, for the record.
But anyway, things been happening in Ben Harbor, you know, and it's continue to happen in the streets. I know it's tore up now. We need to get some lots cut. City manager said they're working on that. I got 2 big potholes in front of my street. My wife getting on my about it, but 2 potholes, city manager, let's get them fixed so I can get the neighbors off me. They keep saying, you a commissioner, what you gonna do? You know, and I keep hearing bounces, we gonna sue, you know. Anyway, things are happening in the city. That's what's important. Things are happening, and we don't want nobody roof leaking. We want people when they sign up and get, man, that ain't never happened. God bless you. God bless Ben Harbor. Expect great things.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Congratulations to County Commissioner, the Honorable Mamie L. Yarbrough, for your service and your continued intention to serve our community in one of the many hats that you have and do wear. Just like to also commend Abbott Marsh. I know that you all have offices throughout the state in other cities, but Ben Harbor is your headquarters. And for you to extend your investment in this city in the way of housing, it says a lot about your commitment, because Mayor Cook used to say that tumbleweed was rolling down Main Street, and Abbott Marsh was here. So it's only right that you all be a part of the renaissance of this, the Benton Harbor, not Harlem, but Harbor Renaissance. I do have some information to share with you. I am a cohort in a program. We just were in Washington, D.C., all expenses paid, with the elected officials protecting America, partnering with San Francisco University, where I began courses to receive a certification for public leadership. And it says here, EOPA and the University of San Francisco run a certificate in public leadership that expands lawmakers and civic leaders' knowledge to effectively create, communicate, and implement policy through gaining a deeper understanding. And these are some of the courses of emotional intelligence, leadership and management, public speaking, body language, value-based communications, legislative procedures, cybersecurity, empathy-based fundraising, while connecting with elected officials who have had significant impact on public policy. So I am a part of a committee. It's a subnational diplomatic policy team where 2 are from the UK, One has been in the House of Lords for 30-plus years. One is from Singapore. Two are from Ukraine. One is from the Cameroon, but he's a council person in Massachusetts. And another one is from Ghana, but he's the mayor pro tem at a city in Maine. So it's a very diverse group. And one is from from Arizona. So it's a very diverse group, and we're responsible for diplomacy and developing public policy. So I will be reaching out to the Michigan State branch and as well as Lake Michigan College, because our particular focus will be on wineries. But I also just want to thank everybody again. The city of Benton Harbor is truly growing. It's attracting the world. This is a letter from the Ontario Agent General in Chicago. It says, Mayor, it was a pleasure to meet you this week in Chicago. I look forward to working with you to enhance the Ontario-Michigan relationship. Please contact me should you require information or assistance. Yours very truly, Earl Provost. So Benton Harbor is on the world stage. And as a community, we must begin to think big. Because if we're going to grow this community and invite the world, then we need to put our best foot forward. And I think we have the team in place and the audience as well as behind this bench to make that happen. So with that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.